All right, let's dive right into the world of starting a business. If you're ready to turn that dream into reality, we're breaking down the ultimate step-by-step guide to starting your business. That's by Matthew and Daniel Rung. And this book, folks, it's the real deal, covering everything. I mean, from that initial light bulb moment to, figuring out how to exit your successful business down the road.
It's true, they don't leave any stone unturned. And what really impressed me was the practicality of it all. It's not just theory, you get actual steps, real life examples, the kind of advice you can actually use, whether you're starting now or just, thinking ahead.
Exactly. It's so much to unpack, but before we get lost in ideas and business plans, I want to start with something the book emphasizes right off the bat. Are you really cut out for this whole entrepreneurship thing? What do you think about that?
I think it's brilliant, honestly, because passion is great, but it's not enough. You need a certain mindset, right? The ability to bounce back from setbacks, that risk tolerance.
Oh, absolutely. They talk about resilience a lot. And it's not just some vague, be passionate pep talk.
No, they actually suggest personality tests.
Yeah, to see if you've got the traits that, typically lead to success as an
Mhm.
entrepreneur, like persistence, being okay with uncertainty.
That self-motivation, that's huge EE.
Right. So it's like checking your entrepreneurial compatibility before you even, write up a business plan.
Would you agree that kind of being honest with yourself about strengths and weaknesses is critical at this stage?
Absolutely. Knowing yourself is just as important as knowing the market. So let's say you've done that self-assessment and you're feeling good, you're ready. How do you turn a good idea into a thriving business?
Well, that's where finding your niche comes in. But it's more than just identifying a market. It's about spotting the trends, seeing those gaps, and almost anticipating what people will want even before they realize it themselves.
It's like being a fortune teller, but for business. And they compare it to like those trend forecasters in fashion.
Right. Got to be ahead of the curve.
One thing I loved is they really emphasize validating your idea. It's not enough to just think you've got something great. You got to test it.
Yeah.
Treat it like an experiment.
Exactly. Develop a prototype, get it out there, test it on a small scale.
Get feedback. And this is where so many first-time entrepreneurs, they skip this step.
It's so tempting to just jump in, but yeah, better to know early on if your idea has legs.
Definitely. Now, the book also acknowledges that not everyone is starting from scratch. So they explore different paths, like buying an existing business or maybe going the franchise route.
Have you seen people go those routes?
Oh, for sure. And it can be tempting, right? You get that existing structure, maybe even a customer base built in. But the book cautions there can be pitfalls.
Like what?
Well, maybe the business has financial issues under the surface,
You don't want to walk into that.
or the brand's reputation might not be what it seems.
Right. Due diligence is crucial no matter which path you're taking. And I was surprised they even talk about like hybrid approaches, like buying a business and then franchising it.
Or starting your own with the goal of selling it down the line.
So many options. It's about being strategic, aligning your approach with your long-term goals. But no matter what, you need a plan, a roadmap. And that's where the dreaded business plan comes in.
The business plan. I can already feel people tuning out.
I know it gets a bad rap, but it's so important.
It's not just for investors. It's for you to clarify your vision, outline the steps.
And the book really breaks it down into manageable sections.
They really emphasize being realistic in your projections.
Oh, yeah. Investors can spot those overly optimistic numbers from a mile away.
It's not about painting a rosy picture. It's about showing you've thought things through, done your research.
And speaking of research, what about the market analysis, the competition?
I love how they use the detective analogy for that.
Yeah.
Understanding your market, your competition, like gathering intel for a big mission.
Right. And it's not just about the big players.
No, they talk about those emerging competitors, the disruptors.
Things change fast in the business world. Got to be ready to adapt.
So true. So you've got your market intel, your plan in place. Time to choose your legal armor, your business structure.
Sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, corporation. Gets confusing quickly.
Right. This is where that professional advice is worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely. Choosing the wrong structure can have major consequences down the line.
Taxes, liability, even your ability to raise capital later on. One thing that surprised me was how much location matters. I thought it was more about convenience.
No, it affects so much more.
Taxes, legal requirements, even access to funding.
And they encourage you to think beyond your home state.
Yeah, some states are just more business-friendly, have specific industry advantages.
So many factors to consider.
Speaking of factors, let's talk about money, the financing piece.
Ah, yes, the lifeblood of any business.
This is where the book really opens up a whole buffet of possibilities. Bootstrapping, loans, crowdfunding, angel investors.
Each has its pros and cons. They lay it all out really clearly.
And they dive deep into managing cash flow, which I know trips up a lot of new entrepreneurs.
It's like walking a tightrope. Got to keep that balance.
They give some great strategies for forecasting, managing working capital.
That break-even analysis is crucial.
Okay, now for the part everyone dreads. Accounting and legal stuff.
I know, it can feel overwhelming, but it's so important to get these right.
They demystify it a bit, offering checklists, resources, tips.
From choosing your accounting method to getting the right licenses and permits.
And they're big on proactive legal consultation.
Don't wait for problems to crop up. Get that advice early on.
Prevents headaches down the road. And I was impressed with how much they talk about risk management. It's not just about insurance, though that's important too.
It's about anticipating those potential risks, having a plan in place.
Financial risks, operational risks, legal risks.
And they talk about types of insurance many people don't even know exist.
Like business interruption insurance.
Yeah.
In case something prevents you from operating.
Right, like a safety net for your business.
Yeah.
So we've laid the groundwork, got the money figured out, we're protected from risks. Where do we go from here?
Well, now it's time to create a brand that resonates and get the word out. In the next part, we'll be diving into branding and marketing, uncovering those secrets to building a powerful brand and reaching your target audience.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
All right, see you in part 2.